What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm going to be showing you 7 of the best skills that I've chose from the last month or so. I tend to do these every couple of months just so you guys can see the best skills that I think I've shown in videos recently, because I'm always coming up with new skills, or I see new skills that I want to show you and I'll let you guys miss them. If you don't want to miss them, make sure you turn on that notification bell. You can do that on my profile page. You can just go to the top and click notifications on. That way you won't miss a video. Also, if you're subscribed as well, you can always check your subscription box. But either way, these are 7 of the best skills that I've done over the past couple of months, and I've chose these ones specifically to show you guys, to make sure you guys get all of these ones, because they're very, they're not hard, but they're not easy. They're kind of like in between. A couple of them are quite basic, but hopefully you guys can get them all anyways. And like I said before, all these skills have been took from different videos, so the music's not going to be all the same, and obviously it's not going to sound like this video flows, but it's just because I've took skills from different parts, so it might be like this is the 4th skill when in fact it's only the 2nd. But yeah, either way, enjoy the video, learn the skills, keep practicing. If you've got any questions, go follow me on Instagram. It's at MikeyMcGee with 3's. It's on the screen right now. Go follow that one and we can talk on there. But yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, moving on to the next skill. Now, I'm not sure if this is one I've done on my channel before, but I've definitely used this one before, and I've seen it in the Senegal game. Now, I can't find the actual clip, but when I seen it, I was like, oh, I've done that skill before, and I know for a fact it wasn't Mane. Now, a lot of you guys will probably think, oh, it was Mane, he's very skillful. It wasn't. I know for a fact it wasn't, but this one is a very, very nice skill. Now, I'm going to teach you it. So, we have a little sort of 1 and then 2 situation going on. So, the first situation is just a drag and stop. So you're feinting your defender by pushing the ball and stopping it, which is all one movement. The ball sticks to your feet. It's kind of like a push movement rather than a kick. So you're pushing the ball, catching it, which is the full of the defender, either left or right, whichever foot you're doing it with. And then you turn in the roulette. So then you've got a 2-piece. So you've got the first push, and then the roulette is the branch out, and then you can push on and you can go and score, finish, whatever you want to do after that. But yeah, it's about the 2-piece. So you've got the first bit is very important because that's your feint, that's your dummy, that's where you want to sell the defender, and then you're doing the roulette and turning out in whichever direction you want to. It doesn't have to be the direction that I showed in the video. This is just how it was done in the World Cup. Again, it was a Senegal player, and I went back and I tried to watch the full game, but to sit there for 90 minutes and try and figure out exactly when it was pretty difficult. Okay, so for the first skill, it's the one that a lot of you guys commented on the most. That's the one I'm going to show you first. So it's 2 skills used together. One of them is really basic, and then one of them is quite difficult. So if you watch my last video, I showed how to do this part of the skill first. So the first part of the skill is that. It's this movement right here. You're kind of making a triangle with your feet. So Lewis was one-on-one, and I'll show the clip of what happened. But we were one-on-one, and I did that little skill. I came around, turned it, and then I put it through his legs. So in the video, I was kind of facing him up. I did the first part of the skill, I did that movement, and when I got to here, I dragged it back and flicked it through his legs. Now, the second part, like I say, is just a drag flick. It's nothing special at all, but using the first part of the skill, which is that one, it kind of threw him off a lot, and it gave me a chance for him to get his legs open so I could put the ball through. Like I say, I've combined these together myself. I don't think they've ever been used before, but yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully you guys have seen this for the first time. Okay, just a point on this skill. This isn't something that you could plan to use in a game, like see a defender and think, I'm going to use this skill on the defender. It's something that will pop up at random times, like something is very rare with this skill. Something's very, very rare. The chance I got to pull it off in the 1v1 is because I opened Lewis's body up and I was able to put it through his legs. That's exactly why I used it in that position. But yeah, it's not something that comes up a lot in a game, so don't practice this one to use in a game, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen. But either way, it might pop up, so you just need it in your locker. Get it in your locker, practice and practice, and maybe eventually you can use it in your game too. So I think this is probably one of the hardest ones to pull off in a game, because it needs to be really fast and the technique needs to be there. But you can practice this one really easily. So with this, you're just going to touch and out. That's the movement, but it's going to be in one movement. So to start with though, you can practice just going touch, touch. That's how I practiced. Touch, touch. With your weak foot as well, remember? So touch, touch. That's just how I practiced it. Touch, touch. And then, once you get more comfortable with it, you can kind of make it one movement. So it's kind of a way faster one movement thing, so like that. Sometimes you will hear the 2 touches even when you do it really fast, like you hear them 2 touches when I'm doing it, but then when you catch it really well, it kind of goes up in the air a bit, but and then there's no 2 touches, you just hear the 1 touch. Okay, now for the second skill, it's a triangle in the air. Now again, I just used this in this situation. I haven't really taught it on my channel ever before. You might have seen this one, there's a good chance you might have seen it, but if you haven't, then perfect. So basically you make a triangle in the air with your skill. So the first part of it, just dragging the ball up to about here, a bit more to the side. So if I was right footed and I was going my strong foot, I bring it more to the side so it goes up there to this height. That way when the ball's there, the defender, he or she's going to commit to the ball, and that's when you flick the ball over. So in full motion, it's like this. Yeah, doesn't need to go as high as that, doesn't need to. It can go a bit lower, it can go more further away for if you're running behind the player. But to get a bit of height, that's what you want to do. So I'll just redo that again. So you're dragging it up, away, committing the defender, and then you're going in behind. The nice easy way to flick it over instead of doing the rainbow flick or the Neymar flick, which are a bit more difficult. This one, much more simple. Yeah? Hopefully you guys understand that. Okay, a little point with the skill. This is something you want to use on the wings or in the other opposition's half. You don't want to use it in your own half because it is quite a skill that you don't have a lot of control over. Something where you know there's space in behind, it's a perfect time to use. Say you're down the wing, the left or the right, doesn't really make a difference. You can make that air triangle and beat them as long as there's space in behind. Make sure you know that there is, otherwise you're just going to run into another defender and then they're going to win the ball or tackle you. So the third skill now, it's done when your back is facing the defender. So when I did it on Lewis, I was facing away from him. And this skill kind of just came to me. It wasn't something I'd ever done before, but then I used it in the video and it seemed to work really nice. I'll do it from the front. So this is what you've seen from the front. I'm dragging the ball across my body, right in front of me, then catching it with my other foot, dragging it behind my body, and then pulling it again with the strong foot, the leading foot I started with. In a faster motion, it's like that, behind the legs, and dragging it. So say I was facing Elliot now, so if Elliot was on my back, this is what he'd see. So if he was behind, he was coming to tackle me, I'd be dragging it in front, drag it behind, that's when he'd commit right there, and then you pulled it once more to take it away. Because you're baiting the defender in with that second movement. The first movement, you can't really get to the ball because it's in front of me, but the second movement is behind me, so Elliot thinks he'll be able to steal the ball, but in fact I do one more takeaway and he doesn't have a chance, just like in the video with Lewis. So I'm dragging it in front, dragging it behind, and dragging it away. So I'll do that a bit faster now. So dragging it there, dragging it away. Yeah? I'll do it from the front so you guys can see it. So if there was a defender on me right now, I'm dragging it in front, dragging it behind, dragging it once more. And I'm away. It's super fast, super useful. Practice that one. Okay, so again, this skill is very situation based. It isn't something that's going to pop up all the time, but there is going to be chances to use it in a game. I bet a lot of you guys have had a defender on your back and you need a skill to get out of that position, and this skill would work perfect for that. So if you really practice that first bit of dragging it in front of you and then in behind you, you can sure use this in a match or any type of situation in training or playing with your friends or whatever. But make sure you practice all these skills at home as much as you can, because then eventually they'll just come out in a game and you won't even realise you've done it. That's the best type of skill, when you don't even process it in your brain, but then it just happens. They're the ones that are beautiful. So for this one, it's also similar to the Neymar one, if you'd noticed already. So you're stepping it round, then you're coming back around, and then you take it out. So it's a bit less advanced version of the Neymar one, because they're not always going to open the legs. If you're doing this and this, they might close the legs because they think you're going to make them. So with this one, it's just step around, that fills them on the first one, then you pretend to take it out, but you step again, and then you take it that way. This one might be a little bit easier to practice than the Neymar. The Neymar is step, round, and flick through the legs. That's a bit more difficult, and that takes you behind them, whereas this one takes you to either side. So you can do round this way, pretend to go that way, and then you go left, or you can do it the other way, so you're stepping with your left, and then around, and then taking it that way. So either way, you're going to go out right or left, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, try them both. Once you get a little bit faster, it can look like this, and you're gone. It's really fast, really useful, and you can use it at any part of the game. You can even do two players with this. You can fill one like that, pretend to go that way, fill another one, and go through the middle of them, or to the side, or wherever you want to go. Okay, so this skill is called the Sonic Turn. Now you might have seen this one before, or you might not, and it does kind of reach past that basic section. It kind of goes into the advanced section, but either way, it's called the Sonic Turn, and it's a beautiful skill to look at. You're kind of getting the ball right behind your feet as if you're going to do the chop one, but then you're turning on your 180 and you're pushing it through the defender's legs or around the defender. It doesn't really matter. When it comes off, it looks beautiful, as you can see. It's one of my favourite to look at. Like I say, it's not the most basic, but I'm sure you guys with a few tries will be able to pull this off in a training exercise and then eventually a game. So give it a go yourself.